Hey everybody, what's going on? Thank you for joining or watching the replay of the live interview. What's up, Jay? DJ? Ollie? Man, everybody's joining all at once. What's going on? Yeet. Good to see everybody. Yeah, we got quite a few joining already. Just waiting on the man himself. Not much, brother. Glad to see you here. Just waiting on the man himself to show up. I'm messing with my lighting. I need to seriously get a new option. I need to find a better option. What's up, Duck Fat? I need to get some more compact lighting for my bathroom. They're so big and ridiculous. I can't stand setting these up anymore. But without them, I mean, it just looks like garbage. If I unplug it, that's basically what I got going on. So, sticking with this for now. Russian from the Caribbean, I'm jealous. What's up, Mikey? Good to see people are showing up. Just waiting on Mr. Rod from 6 to noon with his Stirling Yoast live stream. Good evening, Thirsty Badger. LED lights are the best. Oh, dude, I agree. I'm eventually going to add them for each level, but right now I've just kind of half-assed it and only done the one. Good to see everybody, though. I'm expecting a mail call tomorrow from A&E, my first shipment. I'm excited. You can thank Tim for that. Gotcha. That's a new one to me. Combat Mofo. I love that name. And I have nothing to drink either. Where is Sterling? Hopefully he'll be here in a minute. I've only been live for like a minute or two. I'm sure he'll be here shortly. Like a clock. Gotcha. And I almost stopped and got some drinks. DK's here. Almost stopped and got some drinks on the way home. I'm like, no, I think I've got enough at home. I had a beer, or 2 beers. Yeah, no beer. And then by the time I realized I didn't have enough, it was like 6 or 7 minutes till 7. And I'm like, I probably don't have time to go get anything. So here I am. But that's okay. Let's see. 7:03. He should be here any minute. If I don't see him by 7:05, I'll probably just go ahead and stop the live stream real quick and message him. But I'll give him a minute. Kyle Cameron, what's up? Good to see ya. Still waiting on Rod from Sterling. Joel, what's up, buddy? Meantime, what's going on with everybody else? You got any new mail calls? Anything new coming on? He should bring some over. I know. Actually, what time is it? Yeah, he should be off work now, but he's probably at home dealing with his kids and crap and the wife. Otherwise, yeah, he should be here. He should be here giving me some beer. 100%. I don't think he's joined the live yet either, so. What is the one-sentence summary of most Yoast to Coast found from the Stirling Post? Not sure what you're saying. What is the one-sentence summary of Yoast to Coast found you from Stirling Post? Oh, gotcha. Just here to do an interview with Sterling. Follow along if you're interested to find out about the companies. It's a fun ride. Lather Bros is trying. I'm hoping for some Lather Bros. Just trying to figure out what scent. Just remember, all their stuff does have menthol in it. So if you don't like menthol, it's light, and I would prefer it without it. But it doesn't bother me that much. But their soap is good. Well, he has not joined yet. Let me message him maybe. Find out what's going on. I wish I could do that while I was still on the live, but I don't think it's possible. And there's no way probably for me to tag him. Sorry. Oh, wait. Oh, there he is. Rod is in the house. You there?
Okay, you got me yet?
Yay, there he is.
Sorry about that. I've never done this before, so it took me a minute to figure out how the hell to set it up. I feel like an idiot.
No, no worries. I'm glad you're here to give time for people to show up. We got quite a crowd now. Yeah, thirsty, man. I have nothing to drink. Normally I have a drink in my hand, but I'm dry tonight. So anyway, Rob, I'm glad you're able to make it. Why don't you tell people about yourself, who you are, your company, why you started it? Just kind of go from there.
We started. Oh, I'm Rod, of course. I started Stirling technically in January of 2012 with my wife. We actually came up with the idea to start the company in 2011. We were taking a delayed honeymoon to Scotland, and we were on top of the William Wallace Monument looking down on the city of Stirling. Excuse me. And in discussing some of the stuff about the city, we somehow got on the topic of making soap out of sheep tallow and lanolin. Mm-hmm. And we decided so after we got back, this was October of 2011. After we got back, we started buying supplies, started making soaps out of bath soaps, which of course, led to us eventually within the next year starting to make shave soaps, and that's where the company really started to take off. When we started, I was still a warrant officer in the Army, and my wife she worked in IT for a government contractor, so it was a hobby for the first few years. But then after we got out, we decided that we wanted to make a go of doing it as a full-time job, and we have been since about October of 2013. This has been our full-time employment. It sucked for the first few years. I'm not saying we didn't sell a lot of crap on eBay to make ends meet and be able to pay bills. And I relied on my mom just to be able to be in the house that we're in right now. But we've since been able to buy this from her, and the company's growing.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So you're on like 7 years now, you said?
We just finished up our 7th year in business. So this is year 8, and this is pretty much the year we're either going to take it to the next level or we're going to go home.
Well, do you want to elaborate on that, or is that kind of a teaser for now?
I'll elaborate on it. We've basically relied on organic growth, word of mouth, Reddit, Damn Fine Shave, Shaved In, stuff like that, to spread the word about our soaps. We really haven't done any advertising. I think in 7 years, I've spent less than $1,000 on actual real live advertising, and I still don't know if we're going to do advertising, but we're going to take on some debt for once. Normally what we've been doing is we take the money, anything that comes in, we put back into the company. That's part of the reason we've been successful. Mandy and I live well below our means. We're still living in a pretty small house in the middle of Podunk, Arkansas, where it doesn't cost much to live. But we're going to try this year. We've got some new products on the way in 2019, some pretty big ventures. It would be the biggest thing we've ever done. And we're banking on the risk that we're taking paying off in a big way. I mean, I don't expect us to ever get rich doing this. We don't charge enough for what we do. But I like where we're at in the market. I like our place in the market as something that anyone can pick up, anyone can afford and be happy with the product that they're getting. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah, the 2019, we're going to try to take this to the next level.
No, and that's exciting. And honestly, I discovered you in my early ventures of wet shaving. I didn't buy your soap through you. I bought it through somebody else who was distributing you. Honestly, I'd be lying if I told you who I got it from now at this point. But it was the barber shop. And I just remember for the price I paid, I'm like, holy shit, this stuff is good. And so, which brings me to my question to you is, why are you guys so competitive on your pricing?
That was actually something that we wanted to do from the very start, because growing up, I'm the son of a teacher, and my father was enlisted. He's on an active duty slot in the National Guard. I didn't grow up super wealthy, and one thing that I wanted to do with our products is I wanted it to be something that I would pay for myself on a regular basis. It's one thing to splurge on a soap that costs $5 an ounce every once in a while. For me, though, I'm not going to do that all the time. I'm just not. Even if I did get wealthy, I probably wouldn't do it. And I wanted our stuff to be priced at a level that I thought your average person is going to be able to purchase and continue to purchase, over and over as they run out. They don't feel bad about coming back and picking this up. They're not having to explain a credit card charge for the soap they're buying. It's just, this is the soap.
No, and that makes sense, and I get it, but I just hope you realize that your stuff is worth way more than what you're charging. Like, you have a top-tier product. Your containers are great. You put a lot of effort behind, like, that's another thing I got a question for, too. My mind's flooded, but your labeling is high quality. Your soap is good quality. Your scents are great. So my question is, don't short sell yourself, because you have something good going. And I like that you probably made your sales higher by lowering your numbers. But like I said, your guys' soap is always coming up as consistently as a very high respected soap in the community.
One of the comments down below from Reyes Restores, he just said Stirling's one of the most recommended soaps. And I think part of that is our price. And that's one reason I don't feel like we're short selling ourselves, because people are not going to feel bad about recommending Stirling, because if you recommend to somebody that's new to wet shaving, pick up some Stirling samples, pick up a razor and a brush from them. You can get everything you need to go and get started for $25. If you don't like it, you're out $25.
Yeah.
You're out a couple hours of work, even if you're an hourly wage employee. It's not the end of the world. And I think that's one reason that we've set ourselves up to have the market share we do. Yeah, we're never going to have the margins that a lot of other soap makers do have, but I like to think that we counter that by the fact that we have hopefully a higher sales volume than a lot of companies do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now my next question before I forget, why are your containers green? I have yet to see anybody else with a green container. Is that intentional?
It was intentional. When we were searching out jars, we went to the green jars late 2014, early 2015. And I wanted something wide for one, but I wanted something that would stick out. I've known for a long time that wet shaving was going to continue to grow. I still don't think we've reached the peak, but I didn't want something off the shelf. And 75% of artisans now that are worth their salt either use Parkway or Colt jars. We went with Parkway because for what we charge, we couldn't afford to use Colt. That's not saying that Parkway jars aren't great. They're fantastic. The owner is an awesome guy, and he's done a lot for us. But we wanted something that would stand out from everyone else that was going to be coming in, that was already in wet shaving and was going to be coming in. You can either do that by labels, but even with the labels, it's easy to get lost in the sauce. However, you see somebody's shave of the day video, or they post a picture of their shaved in on Reddit or on one of the forums, you can pick out Stirling from the get-go.
Oh, 100%.
You don't even have to see the labels, and that's what we were going for. We wanted something that would stand out, and people would know without even having to look at the label. Oh, you've got Stirling soap there.
100%. I agree with that. And like I said, it's a good choice what you did. Because like you said, it's unique, and I can tell without even looking at the label, if I see the green color, I immediately know it's your guys' stuff. Now, I know there's a lot of people in here, and I just want to kind of read through it. It's crazy right now. So if anybody has questions to ask Mr. Rod here that I have missed over, which I apologize.
I'm trying to keep up with all the reading, but
a lot of it's talking amongst themselves, but love the simplicity of the labels. Makes it so easy to pick out. Some of these soaps drawings are too much. the intricate drawings. Yeah, I get it. I'm proud of my green Stirling products. Oh, Mikey, Sarasota said, what should he try first? What is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite, probably either Gatlinburg or Sterling Gentleman, just because they're my own personal creation. They're not an off-the-shelf fragrance, or they're not a cologne dupe. They're something that I spent a lot of time on creating myself from scratch. And I keep those two typically in the house at all times. I'll rotate everything else just because we make so much stuff, and I get bored really easily with what I'm using. So I'll bring a sample in, throw it in a bowl, and go to town. But I'll typically always have Gentleman or Gatlinburg or both in the house.
Nice. Now, how many scents do you guys have total?
On hand at any given time, probably at least 50, but we rotate. I just don't have enough shop space. I don't have enough shelf space in the shop to keep them all in stock. So we'll have spring scents, we'll have summer scents, fall, Christmas time scents. So it's we have way too many scents. I have a hard time when people request something or say, hey, can you try this? If I get enough people that ask me about anything, and I can either make it myself or I can find a fragrance company that does a dupe, I'll typically do it.
Interesting. DJ says, how did you find the scent for the barbershop? It's the best barbershop he's used.
That is actually a commercially available off-the-shelf fragrance. We sampled maybe 10, 15 different barbershop style fragrances. And something, when we found that one, to me, it smelled like the barbershop where I used to get my hair cut when I was a kid and I had hair. It just, it was what we wanted it to smell like. So we went with that. It's one of our oldest scents, and it's sold really well for it. It's always been one of our best sellers.
Somebody says, how does Rod feel about all the crazy formulas now with exotic ingredients?
It's good for wet shavers.
It's good for business?
It's not good. It's a two-edged sword. We've had requests to update our formula. I really don't have any plans to do that at the time being. I'm actually, one of our big pushes in 2019 is to be less dependent on shave soaps. The artisan market and wet shaving in general is getting more and more crowded as more and more hobbyists get into it. And if we're going to have a sustainable business, if we're going to be able to grow to the levels I want us to, we're not going to be as shave soap dependent as we have been in the past. But as far as all the exotic ingredients, if it gives people a better shave, I'm all for it. Like I said, I've got some experimental formulas. Some of them I sent out as free samples last year, and I like our soap. I like the price we charge for it, and I really don't want to mess up a good thing. At some point, we may offer a second formula, sort of a luxury line, but it's not something that's in the works right now. Sure. I don't tinker as much with playing with new soap formulas as I used to when I had more time. I'm more focused now on expanding our product lineup and expanding our footprint outside of wet shaving, so that hopefully I can turn this into a business that has some staying power and not something that I'm just running out of a metal building on my property.
True. No, and like you were saying too, you have something that works. You have the price point with the quality, with the performance that, backs it up. You don't have to mess, as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't mess with what you've got. But do you feel to a point, especially with the newcomers, that in order to make a name for yourself, you almost have to do something crazy to stand out and be relevant at this point?
If you're coming in new, it helps. If you're coming in new, you're either going to have to shill, which we've seen, or you're going to have to do some underhanded tactics, or you're going to have something that just blows the doors off of people who use it. Yeah. But I mean, that's or you're just going to have to bide your time and let the growth be organic. And there are companies that have done that have kind of, languished outside the spotlight for a few years and slowly built their reputation. Not everybody's going to come in right away and have people storming the forum saying, OMG, this is the best soap I've ever used in my life. You've got to try this now.
Sure. True.
Yes, Zingari man, yes, you will have to bust your ass.
100%.
Mr. Pearson, what's up, dude?
Man, there's such a great crowd here, and I know there were some more questions that I just missed over because the chat just keeps blowing it up. Somebody said, please keep naming scents after parks and recreation references. I don't see how you do customs the way you do. Said that.
We are going to probably have a female scent coming up soon that's going to be named after Donna Meagle. I don't want to call it Treat Yourself because that'll probably end up getting us a cease and desist, but I'm trying to figure out names that I can get away with that are related to the show but are vague enough. And it's honestly a lot of our scents are. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You just have to dance around it and still get the reference.
Yeah, people that are fans of the show would get it, like the Haverford or the Dunshire.
Yeah.
But a lot of if you pay attention to my scents, a lot of the stuff that's named or stuff in the descriptions, you'll be able to learn a lot about me. From Sandpiper, that name comes from Sandpiper Air from the TV show Wings from the 90s, which is probably my favorite TV show ever. That's where that name came. D503 is the main character of a book called We, which was the precursor to George Orwell's 1984 and a lot of other dystopian literature. Trying to think what else. Haverford is, of course, from the show. I'm trying to think. There's quite a few different names and Easter eggs that we put into our scents and our website and stuff like that. Now, real quick, Weekend in Malibu will not be back this year, unfortunately. See that down there.
Said real quick, too, the bath soap sale has me clicking away. Will more Triumphant and Twice Dark be available?
All depends on the feedback. That's the reason that we do the bath soap sales. We used to be fart attacks. We used to do the bath soap sales to get rid of scents that we tested and didn't like. And then we realized that we could use it. It would be better used to try scents that customers had suggested and put them out in bath soap form. Because the bath soaps, people can pick them up on the cheap. They get used up quickly. And it's a good way for us to find the scents that customers are really going to like rather than having to take such a risk and just say, here's a new scent, and then we get it out there and they hate it. Kind of like what happened with Stirling for him and City Slicker. I thought those would do a lot better, and I don't know. We got more angry emails about City Slicker than we do about Texas on Fire.
Really?
So we've decided that, for the scents, it's just easier to do testing via bath soap. And when we get feedback on the bath soap, if we get enough feedback on a certain scent, like the Triumph and the Twice Dark, which we both have got really good feedback on so far, then we'll start moving them into the more expensive products because at that point they're less of a risk.
A couple people have asked, what was your first scent that you sold again?
The very first scent that we sold was Scott's Pine Sheep Soap.
Okay.
And that is going. Yes, it's
okay.
One of our mutton tallow soaps.
Okay. Wife loves City Slicker and still requests it.
I like the scent. I don't know why so many people didn't. I'm pretty sure Josh has told me that before that that his wife likes the City Slicker, but we had people that were adamant that they wanted a refund, that they hated the scent or they couldn't smell it at all. So when the scent gets that bad that it's costing us money, it has to go. No questions asked.
What's the scent profile on your first one?
Scott's Pine with a touch of oak moss. It's a straight pine scent.
Interesting. How many tubs of soap do you mini in a sitting? How many tubs do you mini in a
Okay,
sitting?
so when I'm making a batch of soap, a typical batch will be 24 jars, about 8 pucks, and between 36 to 40 samples. So the batch, I'm still not doing big batches, but what we do is I'll try to make 20 batches of soap in a week if I can.
Wow.
So there's just the thing about handmade soap is there's only so big of a batch that you can make before you start losing control of the QA/QC process, and that's as big as I'm comfortable making. It makes things difficult. I mean, it's time consuming, and but I've taken on an apprentice now, which has helped free up a lot of the time.
Nice.
So it's something I never thought I would do, but it just got to the point where it's like, if I'm ever going to have weekends or time with my family, we're going to have to do this.
Understandable. Somebody also said, when is your lime shave soap coming out?
April.
April. Okay. Somebody also said, what are your top sellers?
Executive Man, Barbershop, Sharpdress Man, now Haverford, and either Mountain Man or Margaritas in the Arctic.
Okay.
Executive Man's always on top, and Haverford has been pushing that since we released it, but I expect Executive Man to stay on top. Executive Man, it's based on Aventus. It's just a scent that you can wear anywhere. It's good. It's light enough that you can wear it to work, but it's classy enough that you can wear it out.
Nice.
It's a really good fragrance that it just sells really well.
Ali said, when will deodorants be available again?
Not until we get moved to the new building. We took them down for 2 reasons. One, there were some people that had trouble applying them, but also we had some issues with the packaging. The dial on the bottom for some of them would pop out when they were trying to twist it up. So until I can get a fix for that and also make it a little bit easier to apply, we're going to hold off. And until I finish restoring the building that we're planning to move into, I just don't have time to get them fixed.
Sure, understandable. Is Red Eye going to be coming back?
Red Eye will likely make a return as a Black Friday special.
Okay.
It didn't get high enough feedback to add it to our lineup, but we've had enough requests for people to pick it up that we're gonna at least bring it back as a special.
Somebody said, don't let the clean shave fool you. This guy can make a mean beard oil. That's hilarious. Childproof beard oil is legit. Haverford is a legend, you fool. People are going back and forth. So how many new scents do you think you have coming out this year? Are you always trying to expand and try something new?
Well, let me get to Mark real quick. How long does it take you to master a scent profile? If it's something that I've created myself, it can take a long time. The cologne dupes, most of those are either stuff that's commercially available, or I've got 2 fragrance companies that I get most of my stuff with, and I've spent enough money with them that they'll allow me the use of their chemists,
Nice.
because they know I'll come back and buy. So what I'll do is, if they have a fragrance that if there's a fragrance that they don't carry, I can go pick up the cologne myself, send it to them, and they'll perform gas chromatography testing on it so that they can tell how to replicate the fragrance. And we're actually doing that with 2 new Creed scents this year. Original Santal and Himalaya.
Nice.
The original Santal is going to replace our Nag Champa this coming fall, and Himalaya should be sometime this spring.
Cool.
But as far as other new scents, those 2, and then we have the Fern scent that we've been working on for the Belgian Shave Forum for nearly 2 years now.
Oh.
It's our first Fern We're really late to the game. Everyone else has already released one. I had hoped to have it out last spring, but I've been waiting to. I wanted to try to get the aftershaves to those guys since I was making the scent specifically for the Dutch Shaving Forum. But it's just international shipping regulations on alcohol they're just ridiculous. But when you put the EU regulations on top of it, you're just wasting your time. We're still trying to get it done, but for now, what I'm going to do so that I can go ahead and finally release the soap here domestically is I'm sending them the shave soap and the post-shave balm, and then we'll go ahead and release it here. I'm really excited about it because it's the first original scent that I've done probably since the Sterling Gentleman.
Oh, wow.
Most of what we released last year were either dupes or they were scents that we were bringing back that we had done, 2012, 13, and 14, like the Bonaparte. It was new to a lot of people, but it wasn't a new scent. This is the first really new Sterling original that we've done in probably 2 years.
That's amazing. Now, I'm trying to kind of compile these questions. Somebody said, are you expanding the EDT line? Are there any potential for solid colognes? And also, who else approves your scents before you actually send them out and agree on them?
We actually, every scent, and we've actually, some of you may notice, we've started putting batch numbers on every product. We've started keeping detailed records, not only of who made what, but also who verified that the product was, that the product had been gone through QA/QC, either test lathered or for an aftershave, somebody had smelled it. For a balm, somebody had taken one of the samples and given it a whiff as well, just so that if somebody does have an issue, we can go back and look and say, okay, this was tested. It's most likely just the customer doesn't care for the scent, or we can say, hey, there may be something to it.
Yeah.
But we have 3 people that'll smell every batch before it's approved to be capped and labeled, whether it be soap, aftershave, EDT, whatever. I don't trust my nose anymore, because when you work around fragrance this much, you're going to go nose blind. Most days I can't smell Sharp Dressed Man. I can't smell the original Green Irish Tweed. It smells like soap to me. It just smells like soap.
You become a mutant.
So, especially when I'm making that, I will have to ask, when the batch is done, I'll pass around and, hey, can you verify that this is good for me? Just so that we know before it goes out that, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's great. And then somebody also saying solid cologne?
Solid cologne's not in the works. We've had some requests for it. I just don't have any experience with it.
Okay.
And developing something like that from scratch takes time. I learned the hard way years ago that if you're going to put something out, that you need to be an expert in it before you put it out. You need to have done your homework. You need to have tested it completely, and it's going to take a lot of time for something like that. And with all the other things that we have in the pipeline right now, it's pretty low on the list of products to develop, just simply because the demand for it is not as high as, say, the demand for liquid soap or something like that.
Sure. Now, let me ask you a question. I know there's some more questions flying around. I only have one more question personally for you. Let me just run through this real quick, see if I see anything I missed. Yes, the shave market is definitely saturated. I know we touched on that earlier. Typing on accident here. Well, my question for you while I'm scrolling through here, if I don't forget what it was, if we sit here a year from now and do this interview again, what are you hoping is going to be different in our conversation? Where do you think Sterling is going to be a year from now? Somebody asked me you were drinking.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope we have a name for us outside of the wet shaving world. I've talked about this with some people in the forums before, and that's the big hurdle, is finding a way to break out of the wet shaving market and go mainstream, to where even if people don't wet shave, they maybe have some Stirling products in their bathroom.
Exactly. If they can walk into a Walgreens or a Target or something and pick up one of your moisturizers or like a shave
I don't know that
soap.
we'll ever get that far, just simply because just that we don't have the markup on our product to be able to handle that. I would have to outsource production of most of our stuff so that we could get the manufacturing prices down to be able to meet the gross margins that stores like Walmart or Target or Walgreens are going to want on their products.
Now,
that's one reason we don't have a lot of resellers now, is we don't have the markup on our soaps to handle it.
Sure. What about Amazon?
Amazon is the same thing. We actually, one of their recruiters contacted us about 2 years ago, and we considered it, even though I think Amazon's one of the worst things that's ever happened to this country. We considered it just for the revenue, but we sat down, we took a look at the books, and with what they would charge for us to be able to list our products on Amazon, we'd go out of business.
Yeah,
that's just that's the brass tacks of it. Is we're not a sustainable business if we're on Amazon. We're not even a sustainable business if Maggard and West Coast Shaving were to take, say, 20% of our, if 20% of the sales of Stirling across all channels came from other resellers, we'd go out of business. That's the bottom line.
So when you say you want to be mainstream, can you elaborate? What do you mean by that?
I want people to be coming to StirlingSoap.com. I'm not saying I don't want people buying from other people. That's not it at all.
Oh, no,
but I mean, our business model and us being able to charge what we do is predicated on having a certain percentage of our customers buying directly from us. And I love Maggard. I love West Coast. I love what they do for the wet shaving community. I love what they do for us. But I don't want them to sell more Stirling products than I do at StirlingSoap.com.
No, and
the day that happened, I would have to drop resellers.
Sure.
But what I'm talking about is getting it into barber shops, getting it into small stores like Blue Ridge Bath and Body in Georgia, or Just for Him in Springfield, Missouri. Small men's stores that can make a profit off of our product while still allowing us to make a profit off of it. Sure. With going with people like Walmart or Amazon, the Waltons and Jeff Bezos couldn't care less, to be frank, if I make a dime. If they make profit off my product, that's their only concern. And it should be. That's fine. But at the same time, for me and for my family, I don't have any desire to add another comma to their net worth. Not that I would, but it's certainly not at the expense of my business. It just doesn't make sense for us. I work too hard at what we do and put too many hours into building this to give someone that much of a percentage of my business.
Exactly. I know somebody was saying bring it to Canada, but top of the chain carries you, correct?
Top of the chain carries us. We've got a couple of small stores that are listed on our website that does it well, but top of the chain is the best. He's eventually going to carry everything we do. It's just a matter of Carmine being able to grow enough to bring on all our stuff, including all of our samples, so that we can get over the international shipping thing, get over the alcohol shipping thing, and he'll basically be Stirling North while carrying everyone else's products as well.
Awesome. Well, Rod, thank you so much for your time tonight. I appreciate it. We've had a great response tonight. If you want to scroll through real quick to see some more comments, but I'm glad you gave me the time tonight. People obviously very enjoyed it. I love your insight about your company, what you're doing with your company, and how you're expanding it. I like your mindset. your price point. You're just a good all-around company, and I'm glad we were finally able to get you on and expose you to people who either want to get you to know you better or get to know you at all. Like, I know there's a few people tonight who haven't even tried your product that I guarantee are going to try it now. That's great. And it's a great product. So, guys, check out Stirling, check out Rod. Great product, great customer service. They always go above and beyond. Like I said, you can't miss the green container. And buy from him, buy direct if at all possible.
No, please support everyone else as well. There's plenty of good artisans as well. Don't just live off of Stirling. I mean, I'm not saying never buy from us, but I'm not one of these guys that's trying to gimme, take every bit of the market share. The simple fact of the matter is, if you get into wet shaving, it doesn't matter if you're buying Barrister Man, if you're buying Chiseled Faced or Chaffion Lux or whatever it may be. If you're a wet shaver, eventually you're going to find out about Stirling.
Yep.
So that's the way I look about it. At it. There's no reason to try to eat up every bit of market share. That the way for wet shaving to be sustainable is not for everyone else to be trying to steal market share from their competitors. It's to find ways to steal market share from Procter & Gamble. Take a Schick or a Gillette customer and turn them into a wet shaver.
100%.
That's how wet shaving becomes sustainable. Do you have a couple more minutes to take any of these questions?
The night is yours. I think they cut us off after an hour, but we've still got 18 minutes. We're good.
Holy crap, it's been that long?
It goes quick.
Well, anybody, if you got point system. Okay, yeah, Joshua, if you're with us, if you have an account, you should be signed up for the rewards point system. You get coupons for monies off your orders. You got to be happy to do it. My favorite soap, as in brand, my own. I really only use my own. I mean, I have some other soap companies. I've got some stuff that I've bought. I've got some stuff I've picked up. My favorite soap, though, I like using the electric sheep. It's the sheep soap's just awesome. How many packers do we have? Right now, I have a total of 4 different people who ship for us.
Nice. Somebody said will you be using essential oil in your sandalwood soap?
No. Right now, real sandalwood essential oil runs, for the good stuff, about $2,000 a pound.
Wow.
So if anybody tells you that they're using nothing but pure sandalwood in their soap, they're lying to you.
But you're paying a lot.
Cannot do it. They've either been sold something that's adulterated, or they're straight up lying to you. You just cannot. You can't make soap with pure sandalwood, because at $2,000 a pound, it's impossible.
That's insane. Probably my best question I've seen tonight. Sledhead said, "What is the strangest scent request you've had?"
The strangest scent request we had. Oh my gosh, we get them all the time. We'll get something, and not to sound rude, because I promise I'm happy that people think of enough of us to think that, number one, I have the skill to do some of this stuff, but two, that they want us to do something for them. I really please, but some of this, we'll get something like, I had a creek running outside my house, when I was a kid in South Texas, and when I was 6 years old. And I remember on a spring morning, it would smell this way. Can you do something that's I know it's vague, can you do this? And, you're polite, but you really just want to say, man, if I could do something like that, I'd be rich right now. I wouldn't be busting my butt making jars of soap 24 at a time.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. What did somebody say here? As much crap that oh my gosh, I wish the comments would stay around longer. I'm having trouble with it staying up. As much crap as I give him, Stirling was the first artisan that the husband tried and consistently has in his den. We always been fans and supporters.
Thank you.
Somebody else said CK1, damn it.
If I get enough requests, it'll get done. Now that'll probably get added to the Black Friday list.
Nice.
Shave meetups.
Yeah.
We are doing the Maggard meetup this year. April 12th will be in Springfield, Missouri at Just for Him. We will be in November going back down to Palm Beach for the end of the year bash for the South Florida Wet Shavers group. I'm going to try to make it to a Northeast meetup this year. I want to do something at Pastures. Leon's been begging me to come up for a while. But I'd also like to do the Northeast Shave meetup. Talking to Jason Rudman about that on his AMA that he did on Reddit. The actual Northeast Shave meetup, he said, is the one to do in that area. So we're going to try to do as much as we can.
Nice, awesome. I'm dying. I was laughing at Mike's from Colonel Conk. We were talking about CK1. He said 1998 once they're sent back. Well,
this is my son Emerson. He's sitting back here listening.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Guys,
he's going to go get me a refill.
Nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tired do you get of people typing Stirling with an E?
Yeah, it happens. I'd say probably 20% of the time when someone does a post, or even if they send us emails, they'll type it with an E. It happens. Honestly, it's worse. People call me Rob or Todd.
That's a good point, though, because I know I think I probably spelled it wrong to begin with, too, but I always double check now. Hey, somebody said, does your son help smell?
He can, but he'll come out in the shop when he's bored, and we'll find tasks for him to do, whether it be taking jars and loading. We have basically a bread truck.
Okay.
Not truck, but like a bakery has that you push around that's got aluminum trays on it, and we'll load all the jars onto that so that it's easy to push them to where they sit and cure. So what he'll do is he'll come out and I'll give him a dollar or two to take boxes of jars, and he'll fill the trays for us so that teaches him a little bit about work and responsibility and the satisfaction that comes from making your own money.
And I wash dishes.
And he washes dishes.
You always have to.
And I have $100 bill.
Okay.
$100 bill, dude. You're rich.
All right. I'm playing the Switch.
Rod, thank you so much. I should interview him next time, I think.
Wait, there was one more. Kratos voice, yes.
Any consideration of aftershave without alcohol due to shipping?
Just the witch hazels, though. They're the only ones that we're going to be doing.
Okay.
A lime with menthol shave soap. Probably not, just simply because we've got the margaritas in the Arctic, and it's very lime heavy. 60% of the formula is lime essential oil. You get tired of the constant odor in your shop? No, I'm used to it by now, but there are times where we do have to open the windows. We've got a pretty good vent system right now, but even sometimes it's not adequate, and we have to open the windows and the doors. And it's like, everybody pause, let's go outside for a little while.
Probably a good idea.
Lime and menthol always ends up smelling like mouthwash.
I can see that.
Local shop, you live next to the mini mustachery out there in Utah, I'm guessing.
Can your neighbors smell it?
What's that?
Can your neighbors smell the scent wafting from your house?
No, we live in the middle of nowhere. We have one neighbor that we can see, and then the rest is just wide open spaces. And then across the valley from us is millions and millions of acres of national forest. If you find Stirling Soap, you meant to be here.
That's great.
The scent shop, yes. And it does for our employees as well. Our employees will go home, they'll go to the grocery store, and they will get compliments on how they smell. It's just,
That's gotta be a perk.
when you're working around fragrance all day, every day, it just happens.
Somebody also said,
Love to see live production. We're looking, once I have a little bit of debt paid down, I'm going to buy a camera, and we're going to start doing more videos, more live videos on Instagram for one, but also more videos to put up on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
And one of them is going to be soap making.
Nice.
But for people that are watching, if you're ever in the area, anybody's welcome to come by. I mean, we have had customers out at the shop till 5:30 tonight. It just, people come by.
That's great. That'd be so cool. I'd love to come by and just poke and smell and look at everything.
It's the best way. You can, samples cost money. We can't, on the scale that we do it, we can't do scent strips. We'd lose money on that. So I mean, the best way to ever do anything is to be able to smell it in person. It's just, nothing beats it.
Somebody said way better interview than the Boy Black. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw that, but it was crazy.
The neighbor's dogs will not be bothering our sheep again. He still has some other ones, but as far as I know, they're caged up. But if they ever come close again, they'll meet the same fate.
Somebody said, am I shaving with that Bowie knife? No, I need to get it professionally home before I even try and attempt shaving my face with that.
How many fanboys and girls do you see on average? Fanboys? I don't really know. I don't know that there really is Stirling fanboys. I mean, we've got some customers that actually, I know we've got one that was, if he's not still on here, he was on the video tonight, that had spent over $1,000 on our soap, which is just nuts. And we're absolutely grateful. But I don't know that we have people that are just waiting for every release to pick up whatever it is we put out next, like some companies have.
It's a collection.
I don't know that that's our market. John Herchek, thank you. I will do a better job of getting stuff there to you local in Canada. What's the sideways glance? Oh, wait, never mind.
There are so many fanboys on this live.
Okay.
I am not even that bad.
Now, we'll have something worth. Right now, the only reason to come out here is we've got a beautiful view. We've got one of the most beautiful views in Arkansas on top of our ridge, because we've got nothing but Game and Fish Commission land down below us where they run dog trials. And then, like I said, once you get past that land, it's millions of acres of national forest for the Ouachita Mountains. So it's beautiful out here. But once we get moved into our new building, we're restoring a 108-year-old building in the middle of the downtown of the town that we live in. It's going to be beautiful when it's done. It'll make something that people can walk in and be, wow, this is Stirling Soap. I'm really excited to be finally getting done with this and get that ready so people can get down here. The Black Friday stuff, those sizes will be Black Friday only. That's one reason we do them. Truth be told, we don't really make any money on the Black Friday stuff once you figure in labor costs on them.
Makes sense.
That's more, we bring in money on Black Friday. They're doorbusters. Like Best Buy will sell a TV for less than it costs them, but it gets people in the door. So we have those doorbusters and the 2 ounce of aftershave and the 3.5 ounces of soap. And the hope is that people will come in and grab that and they'll say, oh, well, while I'm here, let me throw this EDT or let me throw this bath soap in my cart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get that.
That's awesome.
Cheers from Monterey. Hey, I was just in Monterey 2 weeks ago.
A lot of people are saying for shirts. I want a shirt. I didn't even know there was Stirling shirts. I love collecting shirts.
I just ordered some more. I need to order some more of the ones with the artwork on them. We just haven't had the money for them. The shirts don't sell nearly as well as I'd hoped. So, but we have more of the gray shirts coming in.
Nice. I'm gonna have to get one. I'll pick one up for sure. I know a few people in here had said that too. Well, we literally have 6 minutes left before it cuts us off. So, is there anything else you want to answer or ask?
What's your most profitable product? They're all, the bath soaps are our least profitable. We really shut up the price on those. It's just one of those things. I have a hard time convincing myself that I would pay as much as we charge for them already. Most profitable, though, probably either the EDTs or Maybe now the Badger brushes, they're not as profitable. Yeah, it'd have to be the EDTs.
Gotcha.
Now, close to the Buffalo River, no, we've got rivers around here that we canoe. I've gone up to the Buffalo Ridge National Park and canoed through there. It's beautiful. We're about a 4-hour drive from there. One quick thing before we do run out of time. You'd asked before, what's coming up in 2019? It's not a secret. It was a secret. I can let you. We have liquid body washes coming. They're not body washes. It's liquid body soap.
Nice.
It's something that we've been working on for a long time, and it's the first thing we've ever outsourced because you just can't make a real liquid soap without industrial equipment or without allowing it to rot for a number of months. What happens when you see all these people that are making homemade small batches of liquid soap, you let it sit on the shelf. Say you buy 6 bottles of it, it sits there. By the time you get to that 6th bottle, it's going to be separated into water on top and thick, heavy soap on the bottom.
That's awesome.
So to get something that'll stay in suspension, you've either got to know what you're doing and let it rot for a number of months so that doesn't happen. I say rot, it's not rotting, but it sits there.
Sure.
Or you've got to have the industrial equipment. And we've been working with the company to get that done in 8 of our scents right now because that's all I can afford. But it won't be a body wash. It won't be detergent-filled Axe or Dove or Suave or Old Spice body wash where you're stripping your skin. It's actual soap. It's liquid body soap. And I'm hoping to have that on the website in April in 8 cents. And then we'll have, I'm hoping to have another 8 cents ready by Black Friday, but it's just going to depend on how well they sell, whether or not I have the money to get the next ones done. Antiperspirants are coming. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, do you have a price point on those liquid soaps yet?
I don't have a price point yet, but it will be cheaper per ounce than our bath soap.
Okay.
We're looking at doing 1-pound bottles, so there'll be 16 ounces, but it will be cheaper per ounce than our bath soap.
Nice. Count me in for those. Let me know when you do release them. I want to also share it on my page too. Get the word out.
Absolutely. Actually, I've got some testers here.
What's that?
Shoot me an email or a message when we get off here, or shoot me an email so I have it on my contact form. I've got some testers. I can send you one to try out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that after we get off here. We have 1 minute. I hate to keep cutting you off, but we got to cut it or we're going to get cut off.
Guys, I'm sorry for any questions I missed. Thank you so much Brian, thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem.
And thank you to everybody that sat here and listened to me drone on for an hour. I've had a good time doing this.
We need to do it again for sure.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All righty. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been great. Great interview. See everybody later. I will post this on my YouTube in case you want to go back and rewatch it. Thanks for everybody watching. Peace.